So remember that motion is the low-hanging fruit. It's easy to do, and it provides a lot of benefit, a lot of bang for your buck. Motion is also very easy to troubleshoot. You can simply look at an orchestra and tell whether or not they're moving. Even if you're just listening to an audio recording of an orchestra, you can tell if they're moving too. Because you can listen to their longer bow strokes and you can hear where the sound starts to decay and where the sound starts to decrease unnaturally as it does not apply to the music. So maybe you can hear articulation problems at the tip. You hear the orchestra failing to grab that string to introduce that sound into the space. Maybe you can hear inconsistencies in the tone or scratchy tone or something, and maybe this translates into a bow path that isn't necessarily straight. Maybe you're hearing balance and blend issues, and that could result from students that are unable to play in the correct bowing lane or keep a bowing lane, and their bows are sliding, and that might be because they're not really getting the weight down where it needs to be because they're out of balance one way or the other. Or perhaps they're in balance but only in the middle of the bow, or maybe for low strings they're balanced but only at the frog, and as they work their way out, they lose a lot of that grip, they lose a lot of that weight, and then they're out of balance, that they're no longer gripping the string, so the bow slides out of the bowing lane, and you can really hear that in the sound. You know, maybe the cellos have a melodic line, and you know they start off with a half note or something, and you hear the note very well at the beginning, but then as they bow out, you lose that balance, and everybody else seems to come to the forefront, and your melodic line in the cellos, you have great difficulty hearing, and that just could be because the bow's not staying where it's supposed to be because they're not getting the weight down on the string. And they can really get the weight down on the string if they're shifting their center of mass to line up with the contact point where the bow meets the string. So you've got your weight down at the frog, okay? Your center of mass should shift to the right, and then as you bow, you want to keep that balance going so that you shift to the left, and you just keep everything nice and balanced on the string. Another part of troubleshooting for this is once you start to introduce motion, and even after you've introduced it, you see students that are moving the wrong way. And when I teach motion in the classroom, I like to teach it from multiple angles so that they're seeing how I'm moving, because if we're always opposite each other and I'm moving to my left, if you mirror that, you're going to move to your right. And as far as coordination goes, I think it's easier for students initially to move in the same direction as the bow instead of the opposite direction of the bow. And there's a time for that. But generally speaking, when we're working on consistency and we're working on equal weight, balance, and force from frog to tip, we need to move against the bow in order to stay balanced. So yeah, are they moving? Are they not moving? It's easy to see in the classroom, and you can hear the result of them either moving or not moving. So that's kind of how you can troubleshoot it. That's the easy part. Then you just want to make sure that you apply accountability and good teaching so that you get them to move the way that makes them sound their best.